and welcome to the second episode of Audible Anomaly. Today, we talk about some missed updates, we cover some news from Japan, and we do some headphone reviews and microphone reviews.
All right. Hi, I'm Kevin.
And I'm David.
On a slightly less creepy note, or at least awkward note, I am Broseph, and welcome to you all, I guess, yeah.
Sure.
I guess we want to start off today by talking about a missed thing, something that we missed, some errors we made last time, and some updates that we're coming to. So not necessarily news, but what I just mentioned. So, on to you, Kevin.
All right. So something we missed last week was the announcement of the 780 Ti by Nvidia. So it's going to be their newest, very high graphics card. Pretty much right under the Titan, I believe.
Yeah. We also missed the Watch Dogs gameplay that had been released.
Long time ago.
Yeah, it was a long time ago, but it looks amazing. If you haven't seen it already, which you should have seen it, it looks phenomenal. It shows you a lot of the gameplay aspects, so go check it out.
Mm-hmm. Also, wasn't there a release date on?
Oh, that's right. June 30th, 2014 is when they announced that.
Yeah, I believe it was within the window of April to June, but Amazon does show it actually as June 30th, which I thought was pretty interesting. Anyway, I would like to correct an error I made on last week's podcast. I may have said that this 560 Ti revision was made under Kepler. I was mistaken. It was actually revised under Fermi. So I do apologize for that. I did include a note on it, so on the actual video for the entirety of what I was saying. So just replace everything I said from Kepler to Fermi, and is for the most part correct. Also, Target apologizes for canceling the pre-orders, something we mentioned last week on the Watchdog bundles. They're actually making goods on the PS4 bundles, and not just that, as an incentive, they're actually adding a $100 gift card, which I thought was pretty generous of them, actually. Yeah, I mean, really. And then onto you.
Fourth of the price?
Yeah, roughly.
It's
roughly
$400,
now.
about $400.
Yeah,
so yeah.
So
Nice.
not a bad deal. On you, David.
Yeah, BioShock Infinite has a release date, which I think was announced right around the time the podcast came out, November 12th. It's a DLC, Buried Under the Sea. We're basically going back to Rapture, so fans, get excited.
I'm excited for that.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
I actually held out on the BioShock series for a long time, and I finally dove into it 2 years ago. Loved it.
It's fantastic.
Absolutely loved it.
Fantastic.
All right. In actual news now, Japan, really jealous of Japan right now, is going to get a new Metal Gear Rising Revengeance Special Edition. I don't remember what's in it, but it's awesome. Just absolutely awesome. There was probably developer commentary in there. And they're getting that December 5th. So if you're in Japan, maybe send me one?
A couple games are actually going to be getting some director's cuts. On the list we have Lone Survivor and then Deus Ex Machina Human Revolution. Revolution. It's Deus Ex.
Human Revolution.
Human Revolution. Director's cuts. It's coming around at the time of December 5th, so basically you get to see the developer commentary.
I'm actually
very nice.
Lone Survivor is actually getting it around end of October.
Oh, is it end of October?
31st.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't remember when the Deus Ex one is.
You actually you pull up a really good point, David. What is a human's resolution anyway?
You know, it's the moment where we just kind of resolve everything. It's not.
I thought it was 4K.
It's not a good premise for a game, but I'm working on it.
All right.
Yeah.
Is it in 3D as well?
Oh, absolutely. Let's resolve, people. Let's resolve.
Oh yeah. All right. Other news. We've got Monaco. What's Yours is Mine has a big update recently. they're getting new game modes. You got zombie mode now, and a new character. So look forward to that. It's a pretty neat indie game if you haven't checked it out already. It's co-op 4-player, so maybe one time we'll play it. I don't know. I have it. I don't think they do.
I don't.
But we'll fix that one day.
Family Steam share.
Hey, only one person can play at a time.
Shh.
So it'd give it to me instead of all you guys.
Okay.
Not helpful. Unless... we'll talk about that later. There are loopholes. I don't want to discuss them. Because shouldn't take advantage of that. Unless you really need it. Which is all the time. But don't do that. Also, Ceiling Fan Software lost a court case with Blizzard over the creation, I guess, of some World of Warcraft bots. Wasn't the first time Blizzard faced this, and probably not the last, but now Ceiling Fan Software owes them $7 million. And they're trying to pass it on to the users. We'll see how that goes. Probably not all that well. Dropping in popularity already.
On a lighter news, Euro Truck Simulator 2 will have the Oculus Rift support is in beta right now. So all you fans of trucks and 3D, hey, get your Oculus Rift ready. Because we're about to truck in 3D.
Yeah, I actually saw some footage of that recently. I think it was last night or the other night before. But you can hang out the window and look behind you.
Oh my god.
Crazy.
The best combo. It's honestly.
You'll totally not get sick in half an hour.
Truck, yeah.
Hey. No. Also, Chivalry Medieval Warfare is getting a Deadliest Warrior DLC very, very soon here. That comes out on November 14th. It's only going to cost $15, or probably $14.99. Come on, $15. And if you pre-purchase it, you're going to get access to the beta. So,
not bad.
Really
not
neat
bad.
stuff.
Also, on Steam news, I believe that's $15 on Steam. They've taken Dark Matter off. I don't know if you guys know, Dark Matter was a game where partway in, developers, ended up just losing funding. So it got about 4 hours of gameplay total, and it just ended up getting taken off Steam altogether. It was not a complete game.
Yeah, that was quite a bungle on their part.
I'm just surprised they even put it up in the first place, honestly.
Yeah.
I guess recoup your losses, but at the same time, it's not finished. Why make people pay?
Right, they had some episodic scheme for it, where this was just going to be episode 1, and they'd continue the game later. But if I recall correctly, their development team was disbanded, so that really didn't seem all that possible.
That's tough.
Yeah.
That is very tough.
Also, the Army, which is robot news now. Update from last week. Not an update. Totally unrelated. But robots, come on. How exciting is that?
Robots.
The Army is testing out, or at least was testing out, looking at a couple bids for a new unmanned vehicle or drone, or however you want to call it. And so these were land-based, not actually a drone, I guess. But they would be moving over terrain, rough terrain. They were testing or comparing them in terms of speed, how difficult terrain they could travel or traverse, and they would put guns on them. So we'll show you some footage later, or link you to the footage, where they've got this almost like a tank, miniature tank, very small, very compact, and it's just shooting at targets with a machine gun pretty dang far away. It's really fun looking. I don't know, some guy's controlling it with a gamepad. I think it's really cool. I'd love to have one myself. Doesn't even need to have a machine gun on it. It's cool.
So are those going to be in Call of Duty Ghosts, or?
It's the special promotion event. So you buy the game, you buy the limited edition, you get one of those.
The Prestige Edition.
Yeah.
I do that. I don't even want the game, but I do that.
They did have the Quickfire, the QC-31 or whatever drone it was. The Dragonfly, as it was codenamed.
Yeah.
They did have one of those, which I thought was pretty interesting.
Mm-hmm.
It looked really cool.
Yeah.
It looked well built.
Yeah.
Also, Kingdom Hearts 3. It's a little late news, but they released some gameplay footage of Kingdom Hearts 3. which we don't expect for a long time. But it looks beautiful. It looks absolutely fantastic. You can tell they're adding some new game features in there. The Keyblade morphs. They've got mount type things, like Disneyland rides, is what I take from it. If you can't wait any longer, though, don't forget, 2.5 is coming out next year. So there's that. There's always that.
Get your Kingdom Hearts fix.
Yeah. All right. On to other news. Korea plus Counter-Strike equals pigs? Who would have thought that Counter-Strike Online 2, the developers, I believe it's Dexon, Korea?
Nexon.
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 Okay. I was something with an on and an X. But anyway, they're, why not? I can't go wrong at all. Anyway, they're, if you promote their, the video of this on any social media, they're actually gifting 5 people with this special pig. And it's pretty interesting because the pig is almost like a bulldozer or like a juggernaut, just absolutely tanking, and it looks freaking awesome because they just explode, and I don't know, it's just really awesome. But
the pigs they're gifting are actually real pigs.
Yeah.
Oh.
Like, yeah.
They're actual physical pigs for Korean players.
Yeah. Only in Korea.
Only Korea.
That makes sense.
And it's the users are creating videos, I believe.
No, it's sharing this one video.
Oh, is it sharing? Because I thought it was...
Video.
It's sharing the video. It's sharing the video. I knew that much. But
for... I just lost the name. It's going to come back to me in a second here.
Counter-Strike
Online 2. Thank you.
don't know how you forgot that, but okay.
So you have to be Korean, and you have to share that video on social networking, but you can win a real pig.
Who does not want a real pig?
What's better
I
than
would
that?
love a pig.
Play video games, get pigs. Why not?
That's how it works.
To talk about bringing home the bacon. Anyway, Saints Row 4 has a new DLC released called Enter the Dominatrix. Originally was planned for as an expansion pack for Saints Row the Third. However, they ended up putting it off, releasing it now, and it just by the name, you automatically have to just go check it out. It is quite interesting to say the least.
Oh yeah. And how much is that going to cost?
That's going to cost $7.
Okay,
so
pretty cheap.
Not bad.
Not bad. Compared to the expansion that they wanted to do, which was supposed to be about 35 or 25 or something ridiculous like that. So, yeah.
Wow.
Kind of glad they waited, to be honest. But, on to you, David.
All right. So as part of Microsoft's Halloween, they actually released Mr. Chief as an Xbox Live avatar. It's hard to explain. You're just really gonna have to click the link.
Oh yeah.
You'll understand why I didn't say Master Chief. I said Mr. Chief. Yeah. Definitely. Just you just need to look at it and buy it, I guess, because honestly, it looks very intimidating. It's crazily intimidating.
For only $3, might as well.
Okay.
All right. Also, we finally got some news on the Killer Instinct training modes. Pretty unexpected, in my opinion. We did get a little bit of the preview at EVO 2013, Joseph and I, when we were there. But it was really basic, just 2 characters to choose from. So we're starting to get those details. And the big one is there's this training mode called Kyle mode. You know, normally in training, you have the basic, just it stands there, the NPC, or it'll block, it'll do basic attacks. This is way beyond that, and you still have all those. But this goes and gives you a world-class NPC to fight against. So they're calling it Kyle mode because one of the developers, named Kyle, obviously, is just super into the game, and he can probably beat just about anyone. And they're basing this off of his gameplay. Expect it to block everything, parry everything, punish every time. Really, if you can beat him, you can probably go world class.
Not bad. Talking world class, StarCraft 2, one of the world's biggest games, apparently had a 3-hour match go on. It was so long that one of the commentators, one of the player commentators, actually wrote a rap in the duration of this match. And what was it? The 30,000 viewers, I believe, for this match. Sometimes StarCraft 2 gets crazy.
Yeah.
crazy.
I don't even know how to
A
describe
rap. I don't know how long it takes you guys to write raps, but it took this guy 3 hours.
it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Penguin, that commentator, said he was about to perform it when the match actually ended. We didn't quite get to see it. He might have recorded it afterwards. I didn't look into that.
I have no news on that.
All right. Sorry for interrupting you. You were saying? Joseph?
No, it is on to you, buddy.
Oh, okay. Sure. I mean, I thought I'd interrupted you there.
Nope.
All right. Other Army news. They've got this crazy awesome helmet. Even the name is great. I mean, this is the Helmet Electronics and Display System Upgradable Protection. So if you didn't catch that, that's HEDSUP, or Heads Up.
I'm watching you. Would you count the A, though, as well?
I would, because that's how you spell head.
I guess. I don't know. I typically don't put ands and ors into it, but I'll go for it this time, since it does work so well.
All right. Well, for those movie buffs out there, for you, if you enjoyed the movie Aliens and the movie Prometheus, apparently Ridley Scott is actually currently writing, or confirmed that he's writing Prometheus 2. We have a link to the interview. What is it, about 50 minutes in? It's quite a ways in, but definitely if you take your time, listen for it, you will find it.
Yep. We'll give you an exact time on that next to the link,
Okay.
just for convenience. Also, don't know if you've heard of it, but there's this company called BlackBerry. They can make phones. Maybe you've heard of them. They were popular a long time ago, and then practically disappeared. Well, they're back and trying to get back into the market and into consumers' hands. A while back, I think it was in March, at the BlackBerry conference keynote speech, the CEO said they've done great progress in getting apps for the phone, or the operating system. And they said they had a little over 120,000 apps. Well, it's been shown that 47,000 of those came from one developer. I guess they're really lame, like locks for every device, or every app rather. Just really janky stuff. It's not sure whether this developer was part of the Portathon attempt, where you get $100 for each confirmed app, or approved app rather. But if he did get in that would be a heck of a lot of money.
Not a bad way to move money.
Seriously.
Not a bad way. So now, some more news out of Japan. Not only do you get Metal Gear Rising, but you also get Akiba's Trip 2. It's a fighting game releasing on November 7th, where the goal is to beat off the clothes of your opponent. Yes, you heard me right. Beat off the clothes of your opponent. That's how you win. If you click the link, it shows one of the victories, one of the enemies dying, naked. I mean, they cover it up, but it's naked. I mean,
come on, Japan. You're really gonna beat the pants off of us?
I guess this is how they do.
Guess it'll knock your socks off. And more. Sorry. That was terrible. Anyways.
Terribly awesome.
Valve is doing a little something for the community on Counter-Strike Global Operations, where they've opened up the workshop to taking in weapon skins. And they've got a nice tutorial on it. Pretty long, actually. But if your weapon skin gets a lot of approval from the community, they will actually include it in the game in an upcoming update. So definitely try that out. I don't think anyone's getting paid for it at this point, but maybe they will later. I know they've done that with Team Fortress 2 and hats.
Yeah.
So this is probably where that's going. Also, not sure if you caught it, but Shadow Warrior, the remake, came out fairly recently. They've been adding in weapons or scenes from other games as DLC. So they've got the Penetrator?
Yes, the Penetrator.
From Saints Row as a sword that you can switch to. Wouldn't look that up if you'd never heard of it. It's scary. if the name wasn't bad enough.
Safe search must go on.
Oh yeah, definitely put on safe search if you're using Google, because stay away. They've also added an intro thing from Viscera Cleanup Detail, where you clean up all the blood after the crazy bloody intro scene. I've never actually seen it myself, but I played that game, Viscera Cleanup Detail. Surprising fun for cleaning up blood and gore off a space station. Check that out if you haven't. But the new one is the ice pick from The Walking Dead. So look forward to that. It's a new weapon.
Not bad. Not bad.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot of fun.
Yeah, so the final specs for Call of Duty Ghost, which we've always had a little bit of debate on here at the Broseph Studio. 2 parts. But apparently they finally confirmed it. They're not tongue-tied, obviously, because they can actually say that they aren't requiring a 550 Ti as the minimum spec. They did drop that down quite a bit, actually, to a GTS 450, and they're still requiring the 6 gigs of RAM, which I still find absolutely felonious, but hey, they can do it, and I guess that's the price of next gen, really, honestly. Also, they did shave off 10 gigs of storage, so you're only going to need 40 gigs of storage. So, only. So that is actually kind of a saving grace. Not really, but hey, we'll take it. So, on to you.
It's an improvement, definitely.
Yeah, absolutely. On to you.
All right. I got a little bit of news on this game called Lose Lose. That's lose/lose, not lose space lose, if you're looking it up. It's a game I'd never heard of, indie game. I really try to get into the indie games, but this one is just absolutely bonkers. So the premise of the game, it's a top-down shooter. You're shooting aliens, I believe it is.
Yeah.
Just fighting for your life. You get 1 hit and you're dead. So you can't let any aliens touch you. And the real kicker is, this is supposed to be like a deep introspection game, and they force that by having a file on your computer be deleted for every alien you kill. So the aliens are randomly generated by your files. When you kill an alien, it deletes the file. And it does show you what the file extension was. It'll be like JPG, M4A, whatever the file was. I don't think you can do system files, so you should be safe. We'll get back to you on that one. We're going to test it out a couple different times. Hopefully put some gameplay footage up. We'll do it once on a computer with real stakes. Davey here has donated his computer, or rather his files. I'm going to put it on a system that has nothing but the system installed and the game itself. Hopefully it'll be interesting. Also, when you die, the game itself gets deleted.
Gone. So you get 1 shot, kids.
Epic.
All right. So Nintendo is actually going to be discontinuing the Wii in Asia and in Europe. So if you plan to buy the Wii in Asia and Europe, you're going to be tough out of luck soon. So buy them now. Buy all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Also, if you're holding on to one, price may go up pretty soon. So hold on a little bit longer.
We hope. We all hope. Unless you're buying from the Black Friday sale from GameStop. We reported last week the $40 Wii's.
Start exporting them for days.
Might as well.
Yeah. Also, Nintendo news. Nintendo is finally going to get that bug fix on Pokemon X and Y, where if you were to save inside a house on Lumio City, the file will be corrupted, and you end up spending, I think, quite a bit of time trying to load up that game. And most of the time, people would lose their files.
Oh, wow.
It got bad. I think they already fixed it. You can find the update on the App Store, the store, or they even have QR codes. I forget where they placed them, but they have QR codes that you can scan with the DS that will do the update for you.
That's pretty
So,
good.
yeah.
All right, we'll definitely hit you with some links on that.
Absolutely.
Just in case.
All right. Also, in other news, AMD, the Radeon R9 290X, or 290X if I want to be a real badass, was released on October 24th. This was supposed to be a shot at matching Nvidia's Titan. Unfortunately, we don't quite know too much. We definitely want to do a follow-up on this in the 780 Ti once we learn more, so we'll definitely get back to you with that. But definitely something to look forward to, because it's only coming in at a fraction of the cost. Like I said, we'll definitely gonna hit you up with some info on that hopefully pretty soon.
Yeah. Price was how much?
I don't actually remember off the top of my head.
It was $549, if I remember
wow.
correctly.
A
Yeah,
lot cheaper.
it's quite a bit cheaper.
Almost half. So, yeah.
So, I don't know. Definitely something to look forward to. I may end up getting one myself, because I'm thinking about upgrading.
Yep.
If I do, I'll let you know how it is.
Yeah. Awesome. All right.
But speaking of releases, Path of Exile finally came out of beta on Steam on October 23rd. Gotten our hands on it. It's pretty fun. It is actually free to play. I'm not really sure how to describe it well.
Really, the best way I've come to describe it is if you've played Diablo 3 and weren't content, just try this game. It's really, really close to it. Top down, you can scroll in somewhat for a third-person view, but you pretty much obviously have different classes or different characters that you start up as. Each plays a little differently. I personally chose a Marauder. I can't even say it.
Marauder?
That thing. Whereas...
I went with a Ranger.
Yeah, you went a Ranger. And I really wanted to go Ranger, but he went Ranger, so I'm like, okay, whatever. I definitely do like the range game a lot more. But yeah, that's honestly the best way I can describe it. Diablo 3, except not as sucky. Which, I'll be honest, I even enjoyed Diablo 3. I literally remember playing 2 nights in a row. The only 2 nights I've ever played Diablo 3. But for those 2 nights, I played for, at least 8 hours each night. And got quite far. And I beat the game at least 2.5 times, I think it was. So
I love Diablo 3.
I actually haven't played any of the Diablo games. But it's also like the Torchlight series, which I did play a lot of.
Okay.
So very enjoyable, regardless of what you're comparing it to. Check it out on Steam. It's free, so
it's worth the hard drive space, I think.
Oh yeah, it's a pretty small upload or a download.
Yeah, it's 2.7 gigs.
It sounds about right.
Not bad.
Yeah, so I definitely downloaded in under an hour. So.
Oh yeah.
That was
no minimum requirements. So even if you're on a laptop, no problem running it.
Yeah. So you can get on that, right? Gonna play something later.
Also, there were some really nifty features it had. It's got a humongous skill tree. You really have to check it out. It's mind-bogglingly large.
It is intimidatingly huge. I will say that much.
It starts really zoomed in, and you zoom out, and you're just like, oh my god, will I ever get through all of this? Probably not.
Is that all for just me? That was literally my first thing. The first thing I said, I'm like, oh god, this thing's ginormous. Really, just insanely huge.
Yeah. I believe I was playing the other day, and they have a global notification in the chat that said the player had just gotten to level 78, and they were the first one. So it's not even anywhere near putting all the skill points in that tree.
Yeah.
So probably can't catch up. You can definitely be one of those first few to max out if you start now. Also, same topic here. For Broseph and I, this game is even more amazing. It's got built-in Twitch streaming features. Yes,
with webcam. With webcam, which I thought was absolutely awesome. Really just absolutely blew my mind when I saw that.
That's cool. That's too cool.
I think you were making your character, and I was still playing with the settings. Just because I'm like,
I started the game. He was still in the settings. We discovered later you can even put the Twitch chat in there.
You can substitute the in-game chat, and you can actually put your Twitch chat.
I'm kind of wondering how the timeout and ban would work in that. Probably wouldn't.
Well, you can actually still do /ban and the name, or / I think it's /timeout as well. So there still is that functionality. Definitely, because I know a lot of people actually encode it or embed it and such. But yeah, there's always workaround. That's one thing I do have to admit. Despite it being broken most of the time, as much as I bash on them, They have actually thought of quite a bit, JTV and Twitch, so I do give them that at least.
All right. I hear there's been some racing news lately.
There's a little bit of racing news if you're not akin to the racing world, in particular Formula One. I happen to be a huge fanatic of it. I hope I'm starting to get Acevedo into it. Just at least watching it. We need to get Davey into it because it's still pretty epic. It's kind of cool.
Better than you'd think.
Okay.
I always do. I always do try and explain everything, and I'm always there to answer questions, and I pretty much
Really
know
good
most of the things. So, like I said, I was even describing the India circuit by memory to Acevedo. That's how much I know. But anyway, as much as it pains me to see, I have to congratulate Sebastian Vettel for being the 4-time F1 champ. He won it 4 years in a row, youngest to do so, youngest to win 4 championships. Not to mention, Red Bull actually, I believe, ties the record for most consecutive Constructors' Championships, which pretty much means team championships. So they are doing some dominating. I am honestly, as a McLaren fan, am desperately hoping, A, for a better season, because, this one's just been atrocious, but B, next year's regulation change to the 6-cylinder turbos definitely puts a bit of separation, or at least slows down their momentum, because let's be honest, Adrian Newey, the designer of the RB6 to, I believe, 9, I think a little bit before as well, is just a mastermind. Everything he touched literally turns into gold. Not literally, but you know what I mean.
No.
It literally turns into carbon fiber. No. But I did find out he's actually one of the last people to actually design. He is the last designer that actually designs by hand. Everyone else does it
Wow.
on a computer. So, again, congratulations, Sebastian Vettel. And unless you guys have any last things, that should wrap up the news.
Yeah,
Definitely covers me. All right, I guess.
Okay.
Arkham Origins came out.
So yeah, there's that.
Yeah, Arkham Origins did come out. Came out Friday. I think I should do this here as well. I have to thank Dante151 for gifting me the game and its season pass.
Oh, yeah.
I was
That's cool.
almost at tears. Also gave me Stanley Parable, which, conveniently enough, we actually have a review for. And, like I said, we'll be pretty much showing that right now.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Or simply put, the Stanley Parable. Though the current HD remix of the Stanley Parable was just released, the game itself has been around since 2011, where it lived as a Half-Life 2 mod. You play as the man, Stanley, who day after day finds himself pushing buttons and following the directions shown on his screen. That is until one day, where he found himself sitting at his desk for over an hour without a single order being displayed on said screen. He found himself alone. Never in all his years at the company had this happened. This is where Stanley ventures out of his comfort bubble and takes a journey through his office. Or not. The choice is truly up to you. The presentation is rather simplistic. It's rather straight and to the point. Mind you that everything seems to be done for a purpose and with great attention to detail. Couple this with a well-written script and the witty humor of the narrator, and you have yourself an extraordinary game.
All right, I've got a solution. This time, to make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
If you were to strip down Portal and Heavy Rain and make a love child, this game would be the result. It feels more like an interactive story, where the narrator leads you by the hand through the game even when you try to defy his orders.
Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door.
Of course, the narrator will always be there when you do decide to deviate from the predestined plan.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago.
Ultimately, the power of choice is where this game thrives. There are a total of 13 endings so far, but it is possible that there are more that have yet been discovered. Breaking it down to the pros and cons, the pros would definitely be witty writing, excellent narration, game is definitely unpredictable, it's rather pensive, it makes you think. Of course, the cons, it is fairly limited, though it does seem that it is intentional by design. Of course, for some, it may be the price, though as of recording this, it's $12 through Steam. Still not a bad pickup, in my opinion.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here, so he turned around and got back on track.
In conclusion, it's an absolutely fantastic game. If you love witty humor, are an avid fanatic of the show The Newsroom, or just enjoy having your mind blown, not in that way, then this game is a must-buy for you.
You win! Congratulations! I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Alright, I'd like to think Stanley Parable is quite a great game. I know...
Fantastic.
I know you actually have
quite
experience
comical
with yes, very witty, especially when he's trying to get you to go through the blue door. It just absolutely...
It's fantastic.
It is fantastic. I mean, I remember one part where I was actually playing, and I'd already played it about twice through at this point. So I go to the keypad. I already know the secret code. I'm not gonna say it, but so I started typing the code, and I type in, obviously it glows green, and the narrator just stops and says, "Stanley was so eager to rush through the story that he didn't even let the narrator talk," or something like that, and it just. I literally took a step back and said, "Holy shit, this is quite amazing." Also found out, and here's a little hint: if you guys are trying to get the 8 achievement, just gotta type in 8888 twice, and you'll get it. You also hear the 8. I was looking for the 8 button, found it. By the way, I think I actually am about 60% done with the achievements.
Nice.
Already.
I'm still at 0.
You'll never hit.
You'll
Never hit 100.
The only one.
How does that make you feel? How does that make you feel?
No, it's actually funny. The only one I'm gonna have trouble with is not really having trouble. It's actually doing it, playing for the entirety of a Tuesday. I know how to do everything else though, including the 5-year.
The unachievable achievement.
I know how, and I'm not gonna spoil it. It is achievable. It's an achievement.
Apparently so.
I know how to do it. I'm not gonna spoil it for you guys.
Right. But will you be streaming that later?
Most likely, yeah. I'll definitely be streaming it soon. Definitely
Getting the achievement.
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
Yes. I will put that on record. I would highlight it. Should post it on YouTube as well. So.
Okay.
So it'll be there.
Cool.
You can check into that.
Oh yeah.
How it's done.
Yep.
And then I'll see.
Also, Davey, if you haven't already, that's the gameplay we talked about last week that I was going to post, that I posted. Super Smash.
Oh yeah, no, I saw it. I watched
it. You saw it? Okay.
Yeah, no, I definitely watched it.
Yeah, I rewatched myself losing $10 again.
I did forget about the bet until then. But
poor Kevin.
It was looking so good, and then it went all wrong.
It really was. It really was. But
poor Kevin.
We're gonna have that link. I guess we'll have the link again since we mentioned it. And it is definitely an awesome watch. We'll have that in the crotch bar below. But under discussion topics. It's the crotch bar. It's underneath my... Just go with it.
Okay.
As Kevin literally typed... Don't go to my crotch. Just never mind. As Kevin literally typed it. Motherfucking TitanFall! God,
I didn't have that long A or L, but, it's all good.
And there was
that
a
was
G
the
too.
implication.
There was.
It's... You gotta make it your own. So...
I feel that.
I mean, But yes, we finally have an official release date, which I believe I nearly said March 14th. That's in Europe. It's March 11th for North America.
Yep, that's when we get it.
Not just.
That's we get it.
Awesome.
Not just did they release the release date, they actually also exposed details concerning a collector's edition that.
Thing is epic.
Oh my god, it looks too cool.
Quite epic.
It's got everything you would ever want for the game.
Mm-hmm.
You remember that figurine we showed you last time?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know how tall it was.
18 inches.
The one we showed last time?
Yep.
Oh, really?
Or
Okay.
centimeters.
Also 18 inches?
Was it 18 centimeters? It was pretty small. It was 18 centimeters, I think, actually.
18 centimeters? Okay.
Okay.
Wow, that was really detailed for such a small scale.
I think so.
But the collector's edition includes an 18-inch figurine.
Yeah, figurine.
I couldn't think of the word there. so excited for that because I really want to get this.
Yeah, it's got
With-
movable parts and everything.
With LED lights as well. With LED
yeah.
lights.
Yeah.
So
Lights up.
it's, I mean,
Make
they,
an awesome nightlight.
yeah.
Raise your kid on video games. Why not?
I mean, of course, it's $250, but who wouldn't drop that for an 18-inch
I mean,
figurine?
we're splitting costs here.
You're going to get the $60 game, an art book that's probably going to sell for $30 to $40 on its own, and an 18-inch figurine that probably wouldn't make up $150, but it's definitely really cool.
And the blueprints for the Atlas thingy,
yeah.
which I absolutely want to frame. That's all I'm going to say. I'm framing that thing.
I would totally do that.
So,
Get on top of it right now. They're very, very limited. They couldn't stress that enough, I felt.
yep.
$100 down. So if you really want it, go. Do it now. Go.
It was $100 down, and I believe the rest was in February.
Is it in February?
Anywhere from February to March,
Yes.
they said. Then they'll charge you the remaining $150. So,
Okay.
yeah, definitely. Like I said, at least get your foot in the door, because like I said, those are quite limited. But I do feel I need to announce another giant thing concerning Titanfall. But
We're thinking about getting one. And
Yeah.
we'll probably show you the figurine and the blueprints and the front cover of the game because we can, as well as some gameplay.
I present you David getting a call. No.
Yeah. That was me.
I can tell.
Sorry, guys.
It's all good. It's all good. But we are going to be doing we're planning to do, I should say, a live LAN party on the Sunday of release. Pretty much not too many details apart from March 16th. Time to be announced. I was thinking maybe 4 or 5 p.m.-ish for the actual live part. Definitely, I'll be getting everything ready a lot sooner. Another exclusive. Us, the Audible Anomaly, are going to be the actual entire commentating team for the entire event.
Yeah.
We're going to be doing quite a bit of cool stuff. We're going to have, obviously, the commentary side. And I was thinking of actually having some interviews on the side, asking players who just, recently got out of game what they think about it, if this is their first time playing the game or if they've actually been grinding at it, like hopefully we will for like the first week. It'll all be live stream on Twitch, and I'm pretty sure we'll post the archive on a YouTube right after. Thankfully, Twitch is very easy in doing so. So pretty much everyone's welcome that's in the area, in the Southern California area. Like I said, if you do, definitely hit me up. We'll get you details as we know more. It is BYOB, so bring your own build. May eventually do a build your own build, but that's beside the point.
We could definitely help you out in our spare time.
Absolutely.
Show up early, stay
Absolutely.
late.
Yep.
I don't know if we can actually stay late, but
I'll be there. It's not like I'm gonna sleep or anything, but hey, because most likely be in my place of residence. But the other thing is that we're throwing some ideas out for a potluck. I
yeah.
definitely actually like that idea, only because, you always like, okay, I'm planning for so many people, but then you obviously underestimated or have way too much food. So potluck is definitely a nice thing.
Yes. Every gamer loves to snack, right?
Absolutely.
And we want to have enough for all. So
I
bring
just
some, share, get some new flavors going.
always have a little baggie with me
Oh,
in
yeah.
that game.
I usually have a container at my desk of something.
I have a mini fridge, so I really can't complain.
I
But
really wish I did too.
it is.
Me too.
It is.
I wish I hadn't given it to you.
Hey, I paid for it.
That's true. Well, technically I did too.
But eventually, you're just a middleman. But yeah,
More
definitely.
info on that.
Yeah,
I had it
definitely.
for like
Yeah.
an hour or two.
He did. But yeah, definitely more info pertinent to that as soon as we have it available. Like I said, we're thinking a lot of cool stuff. So
Oh yeah.
pretty much all I'll see. Like we already got quite a few ideas in store. So like I said, it's gonna be pretty darn badass.
Yeah. So
Definitely stay tuned.
like you mentioned earlier, if you want to come to that, let us know. YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, email. You can email us. We read that.
And you cannot text me.
You could even not text him. You could not
That's
text me
always
too.
an option.
You could not call him during the podcast.
Absolutely.
Oh.
That would actually be greatly appreciated.
All right.
I can't think of anything else for Titanfall apart from if you still, after we told you to, if you still haven't checked out the 1080p 60 frames a second footage on their website, what the are you waiting for? Like, go now. Well, not now, but after this is done, go. Trust me.
Unless you want to just pause this and come back right afterwards. We'll wait for you.
You could.
If
You
pause
could.
us.
You could. And if and
Yay for video.
right. Yeah.
So how was it?
I hope you enjoyed it. I enjoyed it.
Oh,
I
yeah.
watched it too. I paused this
totally
video.
We waited for you to pause it, and then we started our own video. It was great.
Exactly. I told you that second when he started, flying through the air with the double jumps. I mean, it was just fantastic. I mean, that guy especially was freakishly good. I wonder if they're going to implement Kyle mode on this game.
That would be quite something.
Alright.
Getting Kyle to move over.
No.
Our second
But
discussion topic.
Yes.
Move on a little bit.
Sorry.
We're digressing.
We get excited.
Digital piracy.
Yes.
There was a game called Volgar the Viking, and the developer, it's an indie game, the developer tweeted out to his fans to see who had, gotten the game, what they think of it. And it turns out 4% of the people who actually tweeted back had actually bought the game. The rest of them had all, supposedly illegally downloaded it from, pirating sources.
Yeah. So if you didn't want to do the math, that's 96%. Yikes.
Hold on. Yeah, that's correct.
Oh, yeah.
It just seems to be such a common thing these days, digital
Yeah.
piracy.
Well, there's also the possibility that they just played it at a friend's house. Not very
There's always a
likely.
possibility, but still, those numbers are increasingly surprising. It's just such a common thing in our society now.
It is.
Yeah.
It sadly is.
Yeah. I mean, where it can be a blessing to some, it definitely is a burden to the developers. It's actually, I believe, one of the main reasons why Rockstar has yet to publish, or at least announce, GTA 5 for PC. Just because, I forget the numbers that they have, but yeah, Rockstar
Really solid stance against it.
especially, yeah. I mean, Rockstar has gone to extensive lengths in general to try and stop even YouTube things. And back when Max Payne 3 came out, they were saying if you I think they were saying a week before, if you post a Max Payne 3 video, we're gonna try and get you down for copyright infringement.
Wow.
They weren't able to because Creative Commons and what have you. And yeah, technically it's, I don't know. They pretty much didn't have a case for creative content,
Legal
but
issues.
yeah, like I said, but still, like they've been more than outspoken, in terms of piracy, and
It seems like every company takes their own way to kind of battle off. You see a lot of companies, a lot of indie developers will either actually post their own copy of it and just, ask the consumers to purchase it. Some people will put in little codes or they'll add some code in there to kind of break it. I think it was Max Payne 3 that had that undefeatable scorpion. So if you downloaded the game,
yes, yeah, I believe so.
Never heard about that one.
yeah. Well, apparently, if you pirate the game, right, and you playing it, there is this invincible scorpion like creature thing that Max Payne, it hasn't. Was it Max Payne?
I want to say it was Max Payne or maybe Serious Sam. I don't know.
Serious Sam. That's what it was. It was definitely Serious Sam.
Okay.
I think.
Serious Sam has a lot of scorpions.
We'll have a link of the video in the description.
Oh, yeah.
It makes a lot more sense being Serious Sam, to be honest.
It does. But yeah, it's the creature. It follows you around. Totally invincible. And it just kills you. Yeah. There's also the infamous Pokemon one, where if you had an emulator, it was a while back. You have to get like a really old copy of an emulator just because they're so well done today. But if you go to the SSN in like red or blue, or even fire red, leaf green, one of the sailors will tell you, if you like this game, buy it or die. that was written. That was there. Pretty crazy.
Slightly morbid, but okay.
Yeah. Digital piracy has also brought on a lot of the online game codes. Really killed used games.
Yeah. Especially EA. I mean,
Yeah.
you get it with almost every
Absolutely.
EA game. And Codemasters, I think, were thinking about doing it. I'm not sure if they did for F1 2012. I thought they did, to be honest. But yeah, like I said, it definitely, especially like I said, EA, it's really been mad about it.
Yeah, it's and there always seems to be one way around it, and I feel like it's going to be an inevitable part of just online gaming as it is.
Mm-hmm.
I always follow the rule. I always like to advise this rule. Obviously, if you don't have money, and you don't want to spend it on a game that you don't know you'll like, a lot of developers will tell you, if you pirate it, use it as a test, and if you like the game, purchase it. And I've kind of followed that myself. As a thumb rule, I try to purchase as many games as possible. I always, I want to become a future developer someday, so I try and support.
Yeah. I mean, there's still a lot of demos out there for games, but they definitely don't cover everything.
Yeah, definitely
A
not.
lot of people are doing that. And really, if you like the game, you'll probably want to see more games like it. So you kind of need to support the developer.
Yep,
Please
definitely. You know who you also should support? Candy Box 2.
Yes. We almost forgot about this. This is this great new game that came out relatively recently, I believe.
It was fairly recently.
We've been playing it in the background for a while now, just before the podcast.
It's
It
still
is
open.
addicting. Oh yeah,
We're still technically playing it, so we're still kind of gathering some goods. So
We're not even going to tell you about the game.
If you've ever played Cookie Clicker, it's like that but better.
I don't know. I never played.
and if you've never played Cookie Clicker, just play it.
Yeah, or play
I
this
will.
one. They're fairly similar games in totally different aspects. Check it out. Just candybox2.net. There'll be a link.
to the number 2.
Yeah.
Not the
Yes,
spelling.
yes. So
But fun. Like you would not believe. Very witty in some ways, actually,
quite,
and very stupid in others.
It's just very addicting.
quite. Yeah.
Pretty difficult too.
It's free to play, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
So,
It's a browser game.
It's almost like Warface. Hey, something I still have yet to check out.
We should play that one day.
Yeah,
I'm
Because it still looks
down.
really good.
it does look pretty solid. But yeah. On to our favorites.
Yeah.
It's that time of the podcast where we mention what our favorites are. I will mention that. I'm not going to say it now.
All right.
But
So this week we're doing let's do favorite movies we've seen in 2013.
doesn't necessarily mean it's from 2013. Just means that we have seen it in the year of 2013. So I'm not sure who wants to go first, to be honest.
I'll start it out.
Sure.
All
I'll
right.
start it out. I've always had a difficult time choosing a favorite movie. And I saw this movie at, I want to say the beginning of summer for the first time. And I saw it like 10 more times after that, up to this point. It's on Comedy Central quite a few times every once in a while. I've watched it on Netflix 3 times in the last 2 months.
Wow.
Hot Rod. It's an older movie, but it's grown on me. It's become one of my favorite, if not my favorite my movie. It's
Maybe a game too.
It's fantastic.
Maybe that'll be his game.
A lot of people bag on Andy Samberg. I love the guy. Sometimes it's kind of stupid, but it's the consistency of the jokes that just make it a great, great, great movie. I love Andy Samberg. I feel like he is he's a good comedian. Watch the show Brooklyn Nine-Nine too. I don't know if you've seen it. It's a good one. Andy Samberg's in it too. But I don't know. I'm starting to really like the guy as an actor.
All right.
Personally.
And Andy Samberg, if you're out there, let us know. We'll get you on here.
Absolutely, we'll get
Give
some
us
live.
Audible Anomaly swag.
Yeah. We'll need to create that first, but yeah, we'll invent
fridge
it
magnet.
just for him.
Just Frig Magic. That's all we saw, guys. So,
Maybe a t-shirt.
Maybe an underwear. Just saying.
Oh yeah. For the special times.
it's the only thing I'd wear.
You know what I wear? Why
Okay.
podcast? I wear only the underwear. Yeah. Now please wear more. You want to go next,
Okay.
Kevin? Or
Sure. I'll take it on. And I'm not even torn between the two movies anymore. Been deciding this through the podcast. I'm going to go with Dead Poet Society. So this movie's actually kind of old. Stars Robin Williams. Very emotional movie. Really enjoyed it. Gets you thinking. Check it out if you haven't already seen it. You probably have.
Awesome movie.
If you're a young watcher or listener, you probably haven't seen it, but you really should.
It's one of those coming of age stories. Really is.
Yeah.
Oh, Captain like Captain. I don't know why I said it like that, but
Nobody knows, but it's okay.
it's fine. It makes sense.
We don't make sense.
Before
here
you
most
have
of the
seen
time.
it.
Yep. So I actually watched that earlier today.
oh, really?
Fantastic
Nice.
movie.
Yeah.
I'm up to watch that soon. I actually have yet to see it.
You know, it had been on my list for a couple months now.
Okay.
Finally got around to it.
Okay. Yeah. I will have to put that eye up there. Actually. To find a way. Is it on Netflix or?
I just happen to have a copy. So I'll see if I can get that too.
Yeah. I'll have to steal it off of you. I mean, borrow it.
Without permission. Indefinitely.
Yeah, pretty much. No, no, I don't have to borrow that from you. Like I said, I've been wanting to see, but I don't know why. It's one of those that kind of been slipped under my radar. But
Yeah.
but
I've
yeah,
forgotten about it so many times, man. But really good.
yeah. Like I said, that's what I've heard. So I'm definitely looking forward to that. I'll go on, I guess, to mine. May or may not have heard of it. It stars a up and coming actor called Chris Hemsworth. It's actually called Rush, Formula One story of of course it's Formula One based because it's me, but it's it's the story between Niki Lauda, a Austrian Formula One driver who drives with precision, and I mean he was very meticulous. So he did everything for a reason, and everything had to be done perfectly in his way because he knew what was right. But one thing I have to give credit to, he kind of reminds me actually of Sebastian Vettel, where he, if he doesn't know something, he'll actually stay, with the engineers and just ask questions and like figure out. I remember when Pirelli was becoming the recent coming of Pirelli to Formula One, Sebastian Vettel actually ventured out to the Pirelli factory to say, hey, what are you guys, planning on doing? What are you guys about? What's some of your history? Like I said, really does his homework, and like I said, really reminds me of Niki Lauda. But then you have Chris Hemsworth, who plays the probably in every single way the exact opposite of what Niki stands for in James Hunt. He was just a ladies' man, a rock star. He didn't care, but when the helmet was on, he was bloody quick. And he was a Brit, and I mean, I remember during the British Grand Prix, he, I believe, had some contact with Lauda, or a back marker, might have been Lauda's partner, partner at Ferrari, but he ends up cutting back through the pits, and they were fixing his car, and they wanted to, the British crowd wanted to see Lauda, see Hunt, and then so everyone was just went apeshit crazy and like started throwing bottles and just cups and just started littering the track with obstacles, so the stewards had to go on the field and take out everything, which bought him even more time, and then they ended up getting Hunt back on the thing, which I was kind of disappointed they didn't show that, but because it was actually a pretty interesting thing. But the only real gripe I have with Rush is there's this one scene where Hunt actually brutally punches or curb stomps almost. No, it was almost like a curb stomp. I think he gets his notepad and just shoves it in his mouth and just gives him a good punch, which isn't really what Hunt did. But apart from that, I mean, everything, the writing, the character development, really, really top notch. There's not a lot of racing, which was one of my mom's actual complaint about it. But I'm like, look, Ma, they got to make it kind of, not just for racing enthusiasts like myself. Kind of need to open it up to, just a general thing. And I was actually pretty happy that I saw quite a few people in the theater watching it. I definitely think it was mostly because of Chris Hemsworth, but hey, I'll take it. He did a great job. Not as good as, I forget his name, who played Niki Lauda, but definitely a worth watch, in my opinion. Maybe not as good as Dead Poet Society, but not bad.
Yeah,
I guess you'll be the judge.
Pretty much. On to our... Unless you guys want to share anything else, I should say.
I'm
Back.
No?
Okay. We have our... As always, we look to you guys for advice that you guys may need, whether it's technical advice, bro-vice, or just whatever this guy wants. I mean, really,
Yeah,
it's up to you.
I don't even know.
But-
I haven't come up with advice yet.
So he's going to make everything up
So
on
we're
the
doing that
fly.
right now.
So we're doing that now. Doing it live, people. That's how we roll.
Oh, yeah.
But I'm not sure if either of you want to go first.
I don't think I can.
Okay.
All right. I'll give a little advice.
Okay. Are we going to go back to the scriptures of the bro code?
Not this week. No.
Okay.
I'm gonna keep that a special thing.
Okay.
We can't give you too
Maybe
much.
Original,
Okay.
maybe.
I was thinking a lot about it today. Just something on my mind. I was talking with my friends. We were having a real deep discussion. Really got to the bottom of it. And this goes down to every bro, every kid, all the younger viewers. And it's just something I've been thinking about. I just want every viewer out there to think of something, the one thing they want most out of life. And I just want them to chase it. 'Cause honestly, it's just... I feel like that's what we need to do here. That's what we're doing here.
Oh, yeah.
With this podcast, kind of chasing what we need, and we can't wait to see this blossom. And I want to see every bro's life out there blossom. So, I don't know. That's what I've been thinking about.
That's actually pretty funny. Dead Poet Society tie-in. It's all about chasing what you're dreaming of.
Yeah. So, themes.
We're totally coordinated. I didn't even know my movie until today, but he knew it.
I knew it.
Seen to the future.
That's how I roll.
All right.
Alright, so you...
All right, you want to go next?
Mon-
I'm still thinking.
Mine's a long one, if you know what I mean. But I will gladly go next to give you quite a bit of time. And I do mean quite a bit of time. As promised, I said we were going to be doing console headsets, PC headsets, any adapters we may need to run any of the headphones that I mentioned last week, as well as microphones like the ones we're using now. So I guess we'll jump right in with console headsets. I don't really have a predetermined list or how I'm even going to link this, but we'll figure it out. I've pretty much broken it into 3 different categories. We have the budget, the mid-range, and you really need to spend more money elsewhere, because seriously, over $200 is kind of expensive. But nonetheless, I digress. So the budget under $100. Pretty much the 4 that I've listed here are the Turtle Beach Air Force PX21s. Very popular headset amongst a lot of the people we work with, or I used to work with, I should say. But
I think I actually had a pair of those once.
I think I use a pair right now.
there you go. Like I said, it's just it works on PlayStation and Xbox, and that was definitely the thing I was trying to go for, multi-platform on console. But yeah, like I said, they're that popular. These guys use them, or at least used to. So, I mean, hey, there's that. Another one is the Triton AX180s, which if you guys have been following me for that long, you guys will know that this was my very first gaming, or not, I guess, yeah, it was my first gaming headset. And the only problem I really have with this headset is the fact that the microphone tends to always go out. Triton sometimes, because it's a detachable mic, so sometimes they'll send you a replacement. Sometimes they're a bit more of a dick about it. I never got around to actually RMAing it, so I just said, it's gonna happen anyway. So I just use them as headphones for a while. I think I caught myself.
I really wanted you to go there. I was like, no.
But yeah. Like I said, I think I still have them somewhere, actually. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah.
So they're sitting around here. I saw the packaging not that long ago, so I know they're around. But the other ones from Triton are the kunais, which are actually something that me and Kevin Breen actually saw at EVO.
A lot of them.
That was pretty much their headset of choice definitely a budget headset. I believe it was $69.99 for that one.
I don't know.
For multi-platform. They do have them for $59.99 for a specific platform, but they do have a multi-platform one which works on PC, PS3, Xbox, and I'm not sure if anything else. But yeah, that was pretty much $10 more. So, and also I found out my old headset that I actually gave to my uncle. You can get yourself a wireless headset. The Logitech F540, pretty good headset. Actually, the headphones reminded me a lot of the Sennheiser HD280s, which are fairly bass and emic, but not a bad pair of cans. Definitely a lot of good quality in them. So I did enjoy those. I had an issue with a bit of static. Tends to be a common problem amongst wireless headsets, especially in the sub $100 range. But that recently went down in price. I remember, I fortunately didn't really pay much for mine because I had a gift card, but I only paid like $10 on it, some ridiculously cheap like that. Yeah. No, I paid $7 for it. I remember now. Yeah, like I said, ridiculously cheap. So, but even at that price, they're $107. So, the gift card I had was valid for $100. So,
they were $107, not like $110.
Employee, because it was at work. I will say that.
Okay.
That's why.
That all makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Listen, so that's I paid $107 for him plus tax. It was actually 103 plus tax, but something like that. But yeah, like I said, I only paid $7 for him. Cannot complain. That's why I gave him to my uncle too, because he was kind of needing a headset. He was using the cheap Microsoft thingy. I'm like, nah, dude, you're rolling with me. You're rolling style. I got you. So then hey, exactly. Fortunately, they did not see that, but he pointed to his headphones, which, are the Bear Dynamic DT770.
DT770. I think it's officially DT770 Pro.
DT770 Pro. Yes, it says that right on the side.
Idiom edition.
I can read.
I can never read it, but he can. Yeah.
There you go.
Teamwork.
Woohoo! There you go. So pretty much those are the sub $100 range. Got the mid-range stuff, $100 to $200. We have the, ironically, funny enough, the Turtle Beach Air Force D PX221s. I didn't want to say it in a different way because that just sounds dirty. But the only difference between this and the one I mentioned earlier, the PX21s, is the fact that these actually have the Turtle Beach DSS, which is a Dolby surround sound thingy, which gives you virtual 5.1 surround. That's literally the only difference. You get that on top of it. So, personally, the one I definitely would go with would be the Astro A30. Currently, it's the 2013 edition. You can even get yourself a mix amp with that, so you can use it. You can use this, or even upgrade later and use any. We'll talk about that a little bit later. Headphone and microphone combination. But yeah, that mix amp is beautiful. It's honestly, the A30s themselves, pretty solid. They're a lot more lightweight. They're on ear, kind of like these. But it's really that mix amp that makes it beautiful. But you can get that for under $200, which is kind of nice. The other popular ones are the Triton AX 720s, 20 plus, sorry, and the AX Pros. Now, I've been hearing a lot of kind of teetering toward both of them. Some say that I think it was a 720 pluses that the positional audio is kind of garbage. Others are saying the Pros are this and that. They're on the list. They're quite popular. I know quite a few people that have them. They're absolutely content with them. So I put it on the list for that reason. They're pretty tried and true. I hope the mic doesn't go on those quite often as well, actually. But hey, so far not that I know of. The last one I added on here is the Creative Sound Blaster Tactic 3D Omega headset, which is kind of the smaller brother of the Recon, the Recon 3D Omega, which is a fantastic headset for general purpose, which I mentioned later. But yeah, definitely doesn't have the little USB sound card, the Recon 3D USB card, but the headset itself is quite fantastic. Onto the seriously stop spending me your money, over $200. We have the Turtle Beach Air Force Sierras and the XP7 headsets. I thought I saw the XP7 headsets going on MLG circuit. Not 100% positive.
Yes.
They are.
They were there. MG this year had a demo for it. They sounded fantastic.
Okay.
They sounded amazing. A little loud for my taste, just a little bit.
Okay.
That was just
But you can just
opinion.
turn it down.
It was a demo.
Yeah.
I didn't have that choice.
Yeah. No, I'm just saying like that would be the fix for that.
Of course.
So
of course.
I'm just saying. But yeah, so definitely those are quite nice. Then we have, as mentioned earlier, the Creative Soundmaster Recon 3D Omega wireless headset. Fantastic headset. I don't know if I want to recommend those more than I do the A50s from Astro, but definitely just all around quite superior sounding. They definitely kind of blew me away when I first listened to them. But yeah, then we have the very popular, and I think they're still running this, the Astro A40 2013 edition. It's been on the MLG set for as long as its existence. I mean, just because the mix amp itself, you're able to daisy chain them together, so you can actually get multiple communications without having to go through in-game, which sounds like garbage, let's be honest. So, and it works on every platform, so it's great. But yeah, like I said, the A40s, and then they added a wireless version not that long ago, which I know when it first launched, the Astro A50s, they had a bug with something. I forget what it was. I want to say either static or not being able to sync properly. They fixed that so far. As far as I know, it's working beautifully now, so definitely want to check those out. Those, I believe, are kind of the holy grail for wireless headphones. I believe they're running a 5.7 gigahertz frequency, or I might be confusing that with Turtle Beach, but I don't fully remember at this point right now. It's blanked out, in other words. But yeah, that's kind of all the console headsets, not PC headsets. Those are coming later. Onto console adapters. We have the Astro Mix-Amp Pro, which, honestly, if you have $150 or $100 or however much, you can find these on eBay quite a bit. I found mine for $60 only. Freaking love it. I use it for everything. I use it for my Xbox, for PS3, for PCs, a secondary preamp. Beautiful piece of machinery. Honestly, like I said, they're bread and butter. If you are looking to save a little, though, they do have the Creative Sound Blaster USB Recon 3D, which also is quite fantastic. They use pretty much their Recon 3D, believe PCI card, kind of condense it down, turn it into USB adapter. That also works across all consoles. And if you really need to save money, and you have an existing PC headset or just headphones that you want to use, SteelSeries does make a cross-platform audio mixer for about $40. So definitely not a bad choice if definitely you just want something that's going to work. But yeah, like I said, I still recommend that Astro Mix amp. It is beautiful. Like I said, I use that pretty much every day. I really don't know a day where I don't use it. Anyway, onto the more illustrious headsets. Definitely a lot more content here. PC headsets. As before, pocketbook friendly, run of the mill, spend money elsewhere, please. 100, sub 100, 100 to 200, and the 200, over 200, I should say. So pocket friendly ones, the Razer Kraken Pros. They look fantastically green. That's really all I can say. They sound alright from what I've heard. Haven't gotten too much feedback, but I did find actually a steal on the Logitech G35 and the G930. They're under $100 right now. I believe it was $89.99 for the G930, which wireless headset that usually runs for about $150 plus sometimes. Not a bad deal right now. There's also another deal upcoming in the next year, but then you also you have the SteelSeries Siberia V2s, one of the most common headsets. I'm not sure if it was one of you that had it. I think it was you.
Yes, yes, I do. I have the USB version.
The USB version. Okay, so that's in a tier up technically, but hey. And then I found the Corsair Vengeance 1300 and the 1500, which if you guys have known me again, I've personally owned the 1500s. Memory foam, ear thingies. Oh my god, it was beautiful. I was so sad to let that go. But I do remember actually playing Bioshock, the very first Bioshock with that headset. Oh my god, I had to not play it anymore because I was so creeped out because of all the ambient sound. I eventually got around to beating it, but really beautiful 7.1 surround. fantastic that you can find for under $100 now. Friggin' awesome. Then you have the run-of-the-mill. You have the Razer Tiamat 7.1. I believe one of our buddies, Kevin Kwok, a.k.a. Sunoco, if you guys know anything about LoL or major scenes, he's a pretty decent player himself. He used to work with us. He's a fellow streamer. Hopefully he'll be at the TitanFall LAN. That's my plan. I'm pretty sure if I mention it to him, he'll be there. Yeah, like I said, he should be there, no problem. That's definitely the plan. Yeah, he recently bought one of these, and he absolutely loves it. Then again, he's kind of a Razer fanboy, but hey, they make pretty solid products most of the time. So, anyway, then we have the SteelSeries Siberia V2 USBs that were aforementioned. We have the 7H, which is an older headset, but still well regarded. And you have the new Siberia Elite, which, yes, it comes in at just under $200. Supposed to be absolutely mind-blowingly amazing. I use that word way too much. Cool looking too. Fairly cool. They have ambient LED that you can actually change colors. Pretty badass. Then you have the Creative Sound Blaster Tactic 3D Wrath, which is pretty much a USB variant of the Tactic 3D that was mentioned earlier. We're not really going to go into that, but it's also actually wireless, I should say. It's the wireless version, I should say, of the Tactic 3D that was mentioned earlier. Then you have the Corsair Vengeance 2000 wireless 7.1, which is pretty much just as orgasmically good as the 1500s, except it's wireless. Friggin' sweet. Also, and this was the one that I was the most excited about, the Plantronics Gamecom Commander, typically $250. I found it on Newegg as of recording this for $150, $100 off. It is the LoL Championship Series headset that they used. The thing is made off of military grade technology. It even looks like a gosh darn aviation headset. It looks phenomenal. I definitely I want to pick one of those up, but I really don't at the same time, just because my buddy mentioned it. I was hanging out with one of my friends earlier. He's like, God damn, you go to way too many headsets. I'm like, I gotta try them all. Very bad reference, but yeah. And of course, last but not least, again, save your money, damn it. Well, don't if you're gonna buy these, because, well, they're gonna have any. So, the Astro A40s and A50s that I mentioned earlier. The two that I mentioned last week, the Beyerdynamic MX300s, which are pretty much similar to the headphones that Acevedo is wearing right now. They're a little bit tweaked, supposed to be a little bit better for gaming. The microphone is based off one of their aviation headsets. Sounds quite phenomenal when you do place it right, because there is always that placement issue, which some people kind of get that plosives, sound. But if you can get that right, they'll sound phenomenal. I mean, microphone and all. Then you have the Sennheiser PC360s, which are based roughly off of the driver that's found in the 598s from Sennheiser. Absolutely one of the better headsets for positional audio. And then last but not least, the headset that Davey got to try out, the Turtle Beach Air Force XP7 headset. And if you do decide to go from anything from the last podcast, great. Honestly, I say go with the Q701s if you can. I found it for $100. I found it for $180 on Amazon. They retail for $350. I think last I checked, they're around $200. Not a bad deal. And they're a multi-tool. They are like the Swiss Army knife of headphones. You can use them for gaming. They're that accurate, and you can use them. I swear, I've never heard a rendition of Hotel California done so well. I didn't even know there's maracas. Let me put it to you that way. There are freaking maracas.
I'll have to listen to that again.
Yeah, you will. Especially through those.
Oh, yeah.
So that pretty much wraps up all the headsets. Onto microphones. Just going to mostly list off some of these USB microphones. Tried and, the words.
Tried and true?
What he said, except with more feeling. The tried and true.
Tried and true, man.
Okay, he beat me with feeling there, actually, but eh. But the tried and true Blue Snowball. So common amongst podcasters, especially.
Oh, yeah.
But I mean, really, if you haven't heard what this sounds like, you're not around microphones at all, to be honest. Like, this is one of the most common microphones that works fantastic. It's beautiful. The other one is the Blue Yeti and the Blue Yeti Pro. I did find out that there are some distinct differences. The Yeti Pro has an XLR connection, as well as as well as outputting at I believe it was 196 kilohertz for the sampling rate instead of the 41 or 48, however much it was. So it was like 4 times the actual resolution, if you will, on sound. That's lots of difference. Because of that extra breathing room in sampling, the Yeti Pro is found to sound a little more natural, but it does come at a steeper price. So there's that. Then you have the microphone you're hearing these guys on, the Samson CO3U USB microphone. I used it for quite some time. A beautiful piece of machinery. I want to say it's right around, if not a little bit better than the Blue Snowball. Excuse me.
Yeah, should be about the same.
Like I said, around the same, not really around the same price. The only advantage that I found over the Snowball is that it is a side address condenser, so you can get a little bit, I do believe if you do get right up next to it, you do get quite a bit better sound. But yeah, and then the last one I'm going to add here is not really a USB microphone, but it definitely is something that can be used as a USB microphone, or in conjunction with, say, I don't know, Astro Mix Amp. The Antleon Mod Mic. This little sucker is awesome. It pretty much comes with a magnetic clasp that you're able to. It comes with a magnetic clasp, and on the other side it has an adhesive pad, so you can literally stick this to any pair of headphones. I don't have them on these. I do have them on my AKGs, and that's what I use for video gaming on the console. Beautiful microphone. I actually did hear sound from the Snowball, from the Antleon Mod Mic, and from the Rode Video Mic, and actually sounds pretty darn close to the Snowball. I was really impressed with the audio, and it's only about $30. So if you need a 3.5mm headphone or microphone, definitely get that one. Then we're gonna move. Last but not least, I should say, we're gonna move on to XLR microphones. These are a little bit more different. A little bit different. You definitely need some sort of mixer or I forget what they called. Not sound device. Audio interface is the word that they use. So you're able to connect this. I personally got a Natty SMPS USB. Had to kind of look, because I'm not going to remember that. Which just so happens to be a phantom power supply, as well as that has a USB cable or port on it, so I'm able to export to USB. If you're not familiar with phantom power, it's pretty much 48 volts that a lot of condenser microphones actually need to at least get the best possible sound. Apart from that, most of them you won't even get an actual recording out of them. But so yeah, like I said, some microphones need this. Definitely the first few that I've listed on the list definitely do. The MXL 770 that you're hearing now, and the 990, which are essentially the same thing. The 990, which I believe we're going to get for future podcast here, is pretty much a stripped down version of the 770. It doesn't have what they call an attenuation switch. So it doesn't have the negative 10 decibels, which just drops the actual sensitivity. So you're able to get better quality out of it by getting closer to it. And it doesn't have I believe it's a high pass filter, which cuts off the low end. So it's geared toward, if you really have a bassy voice, which none of us do, but if you do have a bassy voice, cuts out some of that so you're not just actually doing damage to the mic. But also, if you actually knock it by accident, it transmits less of that handling noise, is what they call it. So, like I said, the MXL mics, made by Marshall Electronics, pretty well-known company. But yeah, then you have the Audio-Technica AT2020, which is such a common microphone, also amongst podcasters for XLR mics. They do have a step up, which is the AT2035, which I believe it runs for about 150 retail. The AT2020 goes for about 100, but the 2035 is definitely worth that extra $50 because it does sound a lot more natural, a little bit more balanced, and lower noise floor, so you're not going to get as much hiss in the background as you might get with, say, AT2020. And I know this one's actually, it might just be my power supply, but this one is a little bit prone to that, so I mean, you can always take some of it out in post-production, but hey, there's that. The last one that I really actually do want, if I do end up staying with condenser mics, the Studio Projects B1. This is one of the most versatile microphones I think I've heard in a while. I heard people just straight talking into it, beautiful sounding. I heard people playing acoustic guitar, recorded electric guitar through their cabinet. I've heard pretty much almost every variation you can think of in terms of instruments through this mic, and it sounds beautiful. I mean, just really, really on my list for must own if we are going to do condensers down the road. Why I say if we're going to do condensers, because I want to do the dynamic side of things. Now, I have 3 dynamics on here. They're definitely a little more pricey. I only added them for, I guess, face value. But we have the MXL BCD-1, which is their broadcast quality dynamic mic, which is an end address. So you're talking to the end of it, which is the top in this case. Sounds pretty damn good as well. The Shure SM7B, which is another popular one. I've seen quite a few studios run it, but I've seen even more people run the Heil PR40. If you're familiar with Leo Laporte, he actually uses this and quite avidly suggests that you guys should use this mic. Of course, it is about $300 or $400. So, but my God, that sound quality. I mean, at that point, it literally is radio broadcast quality. No joke. So, but yeah, the cool thing about those dynamics, they don't require the phantom voltage. So, it's not that hard to get a usable signal. You don't have to worry about, does this mixer have, enough phantom power to power, set many devices. So it's a lot easier to go down the road, but they do come at that stiff price. I don't know how we're going to link all those, but we'll get you some sort of way to at least see this list. I have a link for headsets in general. But yeah, like I said, we'll figure it out, and you'll see what we come up with soon.
Yeah.
So,
Of course. Anytime.
So, yeah, I guess that really leaves the...
Today's unusual advice. And if you're following the theme, it's actually not that unusual. Just because, I don't know.
All right. Well.
Go out and learn English. I mean, truly learn English. Not understand the basics. Not have a solid understanding. But learn the nuances. It makes a world of difference when you're speaking to someone. Or just watch Dead Poet Society and you will know what I'm talking about. There is a scene in there about this. So yeah, do that.
I definitely see phonetic spelling as definitely being useful.
That helps, definitely.
Yeah.
Or just being familiar enough with every word you can think of. Or every word you might use to be able to spell them all. I'm not, but I'd like to be. But just the beauty of the English language when used correctly is amazing.
It really can be.
Absolutely.
I definitely agree.
Yep.
Right.
So I really don't know if we have anything else to talk about. Any final notes, homework, things like that nature?
Again, advice. Comment, tweet, email, anything you kind of want advice and topics on. Of course, like, favorite, subscribe, and just let us know what you're thinking. We're here.
Also, if you want to do a custom intro or outro for us, give it a shot. Let us know, and we'll send you what we've got on it. Maybe.
Yeah.
How can you?
It'll most likely be through email. Just send us the email. You can definitely contact us beforehand, so we can work something out how we do it. But yeah, we definitely want to start doing some custom intros, some viewer submitted intros and some viewer submitted outros. Video would be for intro, outro would be song or something of that nature. Like I said, it's still rough. We can obviously work around it, and we'll get something going. Like I said, just definitely if you're interested and watching, just let us know.
We'll
you never know.
Just about anything.
Really, at this point. It would be nice.
Yeah.
Variation is always nice.
Spice of life.
Yep, spice of life. I was going to use that, but I'm like, wait, I'm too far into this darn quote. Oh well, whatever. We'll take it. Yeah, I really can't think of anything. So
I think we're good.
Yeah.
all right,
Davey.
Kevin.
I'm me.
Gee, that's helpful.
Take care,
Take care,
guys.
guys.
See you.
I'll see you on the other side.